Hey everyone, ready to journey back in time with us today? We're talking way, way back to the cradle of civilization. Get ready for a deep dive into the world of the Sumerians.
You know, it's funny how much we think about ancient Egypt or Greece, but Sumer doesn't always get the spotlight it deserves. And believe me, these guys were the original trailblazers.
Right, I mean, we're talking about the folks who gave us writing, the wheel, even the very idea of cities.
It's mind-blowing. And to get all the juicy details, we're going straight to the source. Excerpts from Wikipedia articles on Sumer and the legendary city of Ur.
Best source there is, right.
You know it. Consider this deep dive your crash course on all things Sumerian. Just the good stuff. No need to spend hours digging through research papers.
Perfect for impressing your friends at trivia night. Though, knowing this topic, we might be throwing some curveball facts their way. Sumerian prenuptial agreements, anyone.
Oh yeah, we'll get to those. But first, let's set the stage. Who exactly were these Sumerians? Picture this. Mesopotamia, around 5,500 to 3,300 BC. That's present-day southern Iraq for all you geography buffs out there.
Okay, got it. Southern Iraq, thousands of years ago.
Now, imagine this group who called themselves the Black-Headed People, settling in and basically inventing civilization as we know it.
Black-headed people. Catchy. Wonder if they had a marketing team back then. But seriously, where did they come from?
Ah, the million-dollar question. It's still a bit of a head-scratcher for historians. Some think they might be connected to the Caucasus region groups like the Hurrians and Urartians. Others propose a much more unexpected origin, North Africa.
North Africa. You mean like ancient Egypt territory?
Even more intriguing than that, I'm talking about the Green Sahara.
Hold on, Green Sahara? I thought it was, a desert.
Precisely.
Yeah.
But rewind thousands of years, and it was a completely different landscape. Lush, fertile, perfect for farming. There's a theory that these North African farmers migrated eastward, bringing their agricultural know-how with them.
Wow, that's a pretty wild idea.
It is captivating, right? Although, to be fair, most evidence does point towards the Fertile Crescent as the more likely origin point for agriculture.
So the jury's still out on their exact origins.
Yeah.
Classic ancient history mystery. But one thing's for sure, they definitely made their mark on Mesopotamia.
Oh, absolutely. They didn't just settle down, they built a network of independent city-states. Each one had its own ruler, its own patron god or goddess, and let's be honest, probably its own share of rivalries.
So instead of one big empire, it was more like a bunch of mini-kingdoms all vying for power.
Exactly. We're talking legendary names like Uruk, Ur, Lagash. These were the bustling metropolises of their time.
That's a pretty unique setup for the ancient world, isn't it?
Incredibly unique. And it's what makes Sumerian civilization so dynamic. But to really understand its rise and fall, it helps to break their history down into key periods.
Okay, let's get into it. What's first?
First up, we have the Ubaid period. Think of it as the warm-up act to classic Sumerian culture.
The pre-game show.
Exactly. This is where we find those distinctive pieces of painted pottery that really mark the era. We're talking roughly 5,500 BC here.
So that's the foundation, the Ubaid period. When do things really get Sumerian?
Things really get cooking in the Uruk period, roughly 4,100 to 3,100 BC. Think booming trade, cities exploding in size, urbanization on a scale never seen before.
How big are we talking? Give me some numbers.
Well, how about this? The city of Uruk itself was home to over 50,000 inhabitants.
50,000 people. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people, even by today's standards. I can't even imagine.
It was a whole new way of life. Remember, most folks back then were living in small villages or as nomads. Sumerian cities were on a whole other level. Organized streets, specialized labor, large-scale agriculture, the blueprint for the cities we live in now.
It's like they invented the future without even knowing it.
They really did.
Okay, so Uruk is thriving, cities are booming, Sumer is on a roll. What could possibly shake things up?
Well, that's where things get a little more complicated. Enter the early dynastic period, roughly 2,900 to 2,334 BC. This is when the Lugal comes into play.
The Lugal.
Think of it as their version of a king. The Lugal held real power over the city-state, and this is also where legendary figures like Gilgamesh enter the scene.
Oh, Gilgamesh. I remember reading parts of his epic poem back in college. It's basically required reading for any ancient history buff.
It's not exactly a light read, that's for sure. But the Epic of Gilgamesh is a goldmine for understanding the anxieties and challenges of this period. It's full of stories about conflict between city-states, massive defensive walls being built. It really captures the energy and turmoil of a civilization finding its footing.
So, more power struggles, bigger walls, and epic poems. It doesn't sound like things are getting any less complicated for the Sumerians. Do they manage to hold on to power?
Now that, my friend, is where things get really interesting.
All right, so last time we left off, things were getting a little dicey for our Sumerian friends. What happens next in this ancient trauma? Do they manage to hold on to power, or does everything come crashing down?
Well, it's not quite a simple rise and fall story. Their political dominance definitely takes a hit, and we'll get to those juicy power struggles in a bit. But Sumerian influence, that doesn't disappear overnight.
So it's more of a slow burn.
Exactly. Think of it like this. Imagine the Sumerians threw an epic party, like the most legendary party in ancient Mesopotamia. Even after the music stops and everyone goes home, the memories, the conversations, the vibe, it all lingers. That's Sumer's legacy.
Okay, I like that. Their culture was the ultimate party favor. But before we get to the after party, let's rewind back to the main event. What was daily life actually like for your average Sumerian? Did they invent board game night or what?
Huh. They might have, though I don't think we've unearthed any ancient Sumerian game boards just yet.
Too bad. Archaeology missed a trick there.
Right. But those clay tablets we keep mentioning, those give us a surprisingly clear picture of their day-to-day lives. One thing that really stands out is just how structured their society was.
Structured how? Like a caste system.
It was a hierarchy, that's for sure. You had the Lugal at the top, the king, followed by the Lu, which were your everyday free folks, and then, of course, there were slaves.
Right. Sadly, slavery is a pretty common thread throughout ancient history. It's a reminder that even paradise has its downsides. So, social hierarchy aside, what about family life back then? Was it all arranged marriages and giant families?
You're not wrong. Family was absolutely central to Sumerian life, and arranged marriages were definitely the norm. But here's the kicker. They recorded those marriage arrangements on clay tablets.
Wait, seriously? Like official contracts?
Official contracts. We're talking ancient prenuptial agreements, folks. These agreements outline the terms of the marriage, what each person brought to the table, so to speak. It's fascinating.
Sumerian prenups. That's incredible. Makes you wonder what those contracts said and what they reveal about their views on marriage and family back then. It's like a window into their values. What else can you tell us about that?
Well, they definitely had some strong opinions on what made a good wife. Let's put it that way. One Sumerian proverb praises the ideal wife as one who bears 8 sons and is always up for, shall we say, around 9.
8 sons. I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
Right. It definitely puts a different spin on family planning.
It does. But on that note, I'm sensing there's more to Sumerian women than just being wives and mothers.
No, absolutely. In early Sumerian society, women actually held a surprisingly prominent role. We're talking priestesses, landowners, businesswomen. They were a force to be reckoned with. They even had legal rights protected by the courts.
Wow. That's pretty progressive, especially for that time period.
It was practically unheard of. Unfortunately, as we often see throughout history, progress isn't always linear. As Sumerian civilization progressed, women's status gradually declined. By the time those later empires took over, women's rights were much more limited.
A classic 2 steps forward, 1 step back scenario. It's still pretty mind-blowing to think about those early Sumerian women breaking boundaries. But now, I can't help but think about all those incredible Sumerian innovations we hear about. What were some of the big ones aside from the wheel?
Oh, where do we even begin? They really were way ahead of their time. But before we jump into their inventions, we have to talk about their most important achievement: writing.
Ah, yes, cuneiform. Those little wedge-shaped markings on clay tablets. I've always found them so intricate, almost artistic.
They are beautiful, but they're more than just pretty patterns. They hold entire worlds of information. The Sumerians used cuneiform for everything: literature, legal codes, hymns, even personal letters.
It's like the original social media post.
Yeah.
Except, a lot more permanent. No deleting those ancient tweets. But writing is just the beginning, right? What else did they invent?
Okay, get ready for this. Advanced mathematics. We're talking high-level concepts for their time. Take, for example, their base 60 system. Know what we use that for today?
What? Don't leave me hanging.
Measuring time. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. Without the Sumerians, who knows, we might be telling time in a completely different way.
Wow, I never made that connection before. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready for more. What else you got?
Well, since you brought up telling time, let's talk about their contributions to agriculture. The Sumerians were pioneers of irrigation systems, and they had to be. Remember, they were living in the dry climate of Mesopotamia. They literally shaped the landscape to suit their needs.
They were the original life hackers, weren't they? Problem-solving their way to a whole new world. Speaking of life hacks, I have to ask about something else I remember reading about. The Sumerians loved their beer.
Oh, they did. And it wasn't just a casual Friday thing for them. Beer was deeply ingrained in their culture. The Sumerians were master brewers, using all kinds of grains to create their brews.
So they were innovators, mathematicians, master brewers. They really did do it all. But what about their artistic side? Were they all function over form, or did they appreciate beautiful things?
They definitely had an eye for beauty. Just look at the lyres of Ur. These ancient musical instruments are absolutely stunning. They were crafted with such incredible detail, adorned with gold, silver, lapis lazuli. They were valuable objects, but also works of art in their own right.
It's really amazing to think about. We started with this mysterious civilization from thousands of years ago. Now I'm seeing the Sumerians as real people with families, ambitions, and a drive to create and innovate that still echoes today. Is pretty remarkable.
It really is. And to truly appreciate their legacy, we need to zoom in on one city in particular, Ur, a city that embodies both the brilliance and the mystery of the Sumerians.
Ur. It has a certain ring to it, doesn't it? Like a lost city swallowed by the sands of time. What makes this city so special? Ur. It just sounds ancient, doesn't it? Like something straight out of an Indiana Jones movie. So tell me more. What made this city so special?
Ur was a pretty big deal even back then. We're talking major Sumerian power player. It was a bustling port city right on the Persian Gulf trade, culture, you name it, it was happening in Ur.
Sounds like the place to be.
It really was. And get this, Ur was dedicated to Nana, the moon god.
Oh, wow. I bet the night sky was something else back then.
Can you imagine? The stars, the moon reflecting off the water, it must have been breathtaking.
Makes you want to invent time travel, doesn't it? Speaking of ancient wonders, I can't talk about Mesopotamian cities without mentioning those incredible ziggurats. Ur had one too, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it was a sight to behold. The ziggurat at Ur, towering over the city, dedicated to Nana himself. These weren't just architectural marvels, though they certainly were that. They were the spiritual heart of these cities.
I bet. Those priests climbing those steps, performing rituals, it must have been an incredible spectacle. But how do we know all this about a city that thrived thousands of years ago? What brings Ur to life for us today?
Archaeology, my friend. We've got some incredible discoveries to thank for that. Specifically, the royal tombs of Ur. Back in the 1920s and 30s, a British archaeologist named Leonard Woolley started excavating in Ur. What he found completely changed how we view this civilization.
Okay, I'm picturing tombs filled with gold and jewels. Maybe a king's skeleton wearing a really fancy hat. Am I close?
You're not far off. These tombs were practically overflowing with amazing artifacts. Gold, silver, lapis lazuli, the good stuff. They really knew how to deck out their afterlife.
Talk about going out in style, right?
Right. But here's the thing. It's not just the treasures themselves that are so fascinating. It's who is buried there.
Don't tell me. They found a Sumerian mummy. Okay, I'm kidding. But seriously, who else did they find?
So picture this. Alongside all the kings and queens, Woolley discovered the skeletons of their attendants, servants, soldiers, musicians, all laid to rest together surrounding their rulers, even in death.
Wow. Talk about loyalty. Makes you wonder what their employment contracts look like. Did they get dental? But in all seriousness, it makes you think about the beliefs at play, doesn't it?
Exactly. And for a long time, archaeologists believed that those attendants had willingly sacrificed themselves. A mass suicide to accompany their leaders to the afterlife. Kind of a grim display of loyalty.
Whoa. That's intense. And kind of sad when you really think about it.
It is. But here's where things take another turn. Modern technology has shed new light on these ancient rituals.
Oh, what do you mean?
Recent analysis using CT scans revealed something pretty unsettling. It turns out those skulls, they showed signs of blunt force trauma.
Blunt force trauma, you mean?
It seems those attendants didn't choose to die after all. They were likely killed, maybe with a blow to the head, to accompany their rulers to the afterlife.
Oh, wow. That's a much darker picture than anyone expected. Really makes you think about the true cost of power and the complexities of those ancient belief systems, doesn't it?
It does. It's a reminder that even when exploring civilizations as old as Sumer, there are always new layers to uncover, new perspectives to consider, and sometimes unsettling truths to face.
That's for sure. We've gone from bustling cities and incredible innovations to some pretty dark rituals. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Sumer, what's the big takeaway? What connects that ancient world to us today?
You know, Sumer might feel impossibly distant to us now, lost to the mists of time, but their fingerprints are everywhere. From the concept of cities to the way we tell time, even the fact that we can record and share information. It all traces back to those early innovations.
Wow. It's almost like looking at a clock as a direct connection to the ancient Sumerians. They truly were way ahead of their time. That's a pretty incredible thing to think about. Where should our listeners go if they want to explore Sumer even further? Any recommendations?
Oh, the possibilities are endless. The world of Sumerian history is full of rabbit holes just waiting to be explored. Sumerian mythology is a great place to start. The epic tales of Gilgamesh, the story of Inanna's descent to the underworld. Those are fascinating reads. Or if you're feeling really ambitious, you could even dive into learning cuneiform. Imagine being able to read those clay tablets yourself.
Talk about taking a deep dive. Well, thank you so much for guiding us through the incredible world of Sumer. It's been an amazing journey. And to our listeners, as always, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep that sense of wonder alive. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.